So, any concerns or any doubts from yesterday's class? I shared one PPT. I have gone through all of those. Okay. What to understand? What is cloud? How we... Okay. What is the main advantages of having the cloud? Cost reduction, speed. Okay. Cost reduction. How do you get the
Sorry, what is the main advantages
of cloud?
The main advantage of cloud is you are going to secure your data and no one is going to like access your data, and it is really secure, high security.
Okay.
And
Auto scaling. Yes. Yeah. Auto scaling.
Reliable.
Okay. Redundancy. Okay. Scaling and redundancy will come to the same. Okay. Robust.
The main advantage is there as per
Yeah,
you.
robust comes to the same as autoscaler. Yeah. So what is the main thing? Why do I need to move to the cloud? So this security and no. So it's not a auto scaling; it's a global scaling. So what's the difference
because
between
in
auto?
cloud you pay for the just only for the things that what you are
Sorry, come again.
because you are paying for the things that you're not
Exactly.
going to pay for it.
Yeah, that is the main advantage. What is that? Pay as you go. Just pay what you use. That's it. Okay. Then global load balancing. Then high availability, global load balancing, scaling all comes to the same. Okay. Speed. No, there is no cost. See, cost comes under as pay as you go. That is the most benefit out of your getting. Okay, we'll talk in detail one by one. Okay, speed. So how do you get the speed? So maximum you could get 10 Gbps per second speed to access your services. Either whether it may be application, whether it may be DB, irrespective of it. So now Microsoft is planning to expand this to 100 Gbps. It may be happen very soon. Okay, let's talk about all this. So coming to the cost perspective, pay as you go. So how do you get benefit? So pay as you go is nothing but just pay what you use. That's it. So let's assume that. So let's today you have plan to open a business. For that you need to have some applications, some data. And so where do you host all this? Into the server. So forget about the cloud as of now. So for that, you must have one infrastructure, you mean to say servers to host your application data, files, and related all those information. Right? So first what you have to do, you have to buy the hardware. Okay, you have to create the network. You have to buy the licenses, operating system licenses. Okay. So these are all the prerequisites. Then you can host your application and database. Fine. Let's assume it. I have for this to make sure my infrastructure 500, else assume it just $5,000 to create my own infrastructure as a physical or VMware, it doesn't matter. Okay, so apart that, if you come to the cloud, once you spin up your services, you have to pay to them. After few years, if you compare with the both, you don't have your own infra. Still, you need to pay to the cloud provider. So once the same which you are paying to the Microsoft or Amazon, Why don't you buy yourself? Getting it or my point? So then why do you need to move to the cloud? That is fine. So still you need to pay to the cloud provider. No. What I am trying to say, let's assume that you have used 2 years.
Even in 8 years, we have to pay full amount.
No. Just
If I want the
if you own your infrastructure, that is a one-time investment. Assume that is a $5,000. So if you are using cloud services, this $5,000, assume it you have used 2 years of the cloud services, you paid $5,000 to the Microsoft. Then what is the use of it? So if you pay for yourself in your own infra, you must see your infrastructure in front of you. That is your own. So once you pay this $5,000 to the Microsoft, you don't have anything. Getting it or not?
Yeah.
So then why do I need to move to the cloud? So what is the benefit of having pay as you go? Maintenance. See, that is a different. Maintenance comes with cloud and on-premises everywhere. It doesn't matter. So there is a term called SDDC, software defined. SDDC, software defined data centers. Let's assume that today I have taken one laptop. Assume it, that is your server. How long that particular laptop works accurately? First 6 months బాగానే ఉంటుంది, 1 year వరకు బాగానే ఉంటుంది. Then the later point time while using your hardware, so the performance comes down. The performance slowly comes down. Either your mobile, either your laptop, whatever it may be, any hardware, even in motor vehicle aina ante. So while using, the performance of your vehicle slowly comes down. Likewise, if you spend money on your own infrastructure that accurately works for 2 years or not more than 3 years, then again we have to go for new infrastructure. So instead of doing that, we do go for cloud infrastructure. So whenever you have the performance issues, you never get any performance issues or any other issues with the cloud. Why? Because the underlying infrastructure will be managed by someone, which they could manage using the SDDC, software defined data centers. Getting it or not?
Yes.
So these are all the advantages. So the first advantage is pay as you go. Coming to the security part. So most of the customers do not trust on security over the cloud. Why? We do have security, we can implement most of the security features, whether it may be on premises, whether it may be cloud, it doesn't matter. It works as the same. But more if you go for any banking or if you go to any insurance companies, they do not trust moving to the cloud. So why do they do not trust? Mean to say the underlying infrastructure will be managed by someone. There might be a chance to store the data, but that could not be happen. Why? Because the data rest which you are going to store in any other cloud, that will be encrypted, rest encrypted. You mean to say once you deploy it automatically encrypted, even though Microsoft also could not be decrypted. What kind of a data it is? Okay, so that is the standardization followed by any other cloud, not only Azure. I am not saying any other cloud, AWS, Azure, GCP, all the clouds follows the same security features. Okay, coming to the scaling part. So what do you mean by the global scaling? So scaling is nothing but based on the demand, automatically you should increase your CPU and RAM utilization. That can be done globally. Globally is nothing but, let's assume that your service is hosted in South India data center, due to some issues, the South India data center is not available. Still, you could see the same performance and same auto scaling features in the nearest data center as well when automatically getting scaled. So, in on-premises, it could not be possible. Whereas global load balancing also applies the same. Whereas global scaling and global load balancing. Coming to the network, while you are accessing your resources from your on-premises to the cloud, maximum you could get 10 Gbps per second to access your all the services, irrespective of application and databases and everything. Okay, getting it or not? One more best advantage is multi-domain. So what do you mean by domain, first of all? What kind of a platform? Okay. So, okay. So we can assign our IP to the domain. That's it. So basically, domain is nothing but to allow you to manage your entire one kind of a setup. What is the setup? Let's assume that today you would like to open an office. So there must be the name. The name must be the unique. So to identify your organization, you must have one domain. That's domain is called, whether it may be Wipro, TCS, whatever, everything. Okay. So here in on-premises, they do not allow the multi-domain. You mean to say the multi-domain is nothing but you can associate. How do you get the multi-domain concept? Like if you have Amazon, let's take an Amazon. So what is the parent domain of Amazon? No. Amazon.com. Yeah, Amazon.com. So what is the child domains? .in, .uk, .au. So these are all the parent domains. You can manage on a single-handed by using this multi-domain over the cloud. That is called Azure AD, Azure Active Directory. So these are all advantages to move to the cloud. Active Directory for the authorization and authentication purpose. Okay, these are all the advantages to move to the cloud. Okay, so as part of yesterday, we have seen different type of services. What are the services supported by cloud? See here, I am not mentioning anything, any particular cloud. Irrespective of any cloud, these are all the advantages. So, but if you take Azure, you need to have Active Directory. If you go to the AWS, they do call AIM, Identification Management. Again, if you go to the Google, there is another scenario over there. But the overall working scenario is the same in the backend. The terminology which we do call is a different. That's it. Okay. Now, what are the services which you have seen yesterday? IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. So, what is the differences between them? How do you segregate it? Service, okay. 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 You mean to say the underlying infrastructure will be managed by the provider service. Okay. Apart this, there are suppose multiple cloud types. Those are private cloud, public cloud, and okay. So what do you mean by private? What do you mean by private? Sorry, come again.
Our own infrastructure will manage it.
Infrastructure managed by own. Okay. No. How do you know that? How do you say that it's certain people only?
Which can be used by individuals.
The underlying infrastructure would be built for particular company or particular organization. That is a private cloud. So basically, Amazon, AWS, Azure, GCP, SoftLayer, vCenter, all these clouds are which cloud it is?
Public cloud.
Public cloud. So why do we say that it's a public cloud?
It is not owned
And access by
in a
it's used by
single cloud is sharing with the multi companies.
The infrastructure will be shared by with anyone.
anyone.
The infrastructure not built only for a particular organization. So by using Azure, I can deploy, you can deploy, anyone can deploy the services and they can utilize it. So that is the public cloud. So you mean to say private cloud. The private cloud is nothing but the infrastructure will be dedicatedly available for a particular organization. That is a private cloud. So the best example for the private cloud is Azure Stack. Azure Stack is nothing but, let's assume that we have one already dedicated setup. I mean to say with the servers or data center. Microsoft will take care. Microsoft will adopt your on-premises data centers to implement the cloud features on the particularly available for your organization only. So this is mostly helpful for banking and insurance sectors. Okay, so nowadays slowly everyone is trusting the cloud technology. They are moving to the public only. So still couple of banking and insurance sectors, they do prefer to use Azure Stack. Why? Because the infrastructure will be dedicatedly and they can own their infrastructure from the Microsoft. That is a Azure Stack. You mean to say purely private cloud. The private cloud is nothing but the underlying infrastructure only available for particular organization for the utilization. Public cloud, Azure or AWS. Anyone can utilize this. Public is nothing but it's publicly available. Anyone can get a benefit using it. So what do you mean by hybrid? The combination of private and public is a hybrid. So how do you make sure the combination?
Banking sectors are mostly using hybrid cloud because
Okay.
some information they would manage themselves and other information they would manage by using Azure public networks.
Okay.
That's why banking and insurance companies they use in that.
Okay. You are closely. Okay. You are very close to that. So let's assume that you have on-premises. You have cloud. Okay. So let's take a real-time example called Walmart. So I'm assuming that everyone knows that what Walmart does. It's a retail company. Okay. So what is the season in US? What is the
October,
November and December? So this is the Thanksgiving Day and the Christmas season. So they do have them. They might have more business rather than compare with other seasons. Okay. So now Walmart has 5,000 stores across the US. So due to this period, they would like to open new couple of 500 stores based on the demand. Okay, for these 500 stores, they need servers just for 2 months. That's it. Okay, so 500 stores. This for the 500 stores, they need at least 2,500 servers. That is the target. So basically, assume if you don't have any cloud, what do?
they have to give infrastructure to
First, they need to buy the hardware and create the network, and they need to deploy their own services. It takes lot of time to do. So whereas coming to the cloud, so they do take based on pay as you go just for 2 months, they can spin up their services. And once done with the January, they will wipe out all the services over there. That's it. That is the overall business process. Now assume that you have on-premises, which has existing 5,000 stores with approximately 10,000 servers. The setup is running on the on-premises. Assume that these are all the setup from the on-premises, okay, which contains databases and applications and file storage and everything. Okay, assume it. Now I would like to build these 2,500 servers in cloud. There is a
why can't we build there?
ఇక్కడ on premises. So again, to want to build these 2,500 servers, you have to buy the infrastructure, right? Hardware కొనాలి కదా. So that is an extra burden for you. You have to buy the IBM or HP or EMC square, EMC2, all the hardware you have to buy. First you buy infrastructure, buy చేయాలంటే what you have, first you have the place. You have to rent the place, you have to buy the hardware, you have to set up and everything. You need to get the licenses of operating systems. This is the tedious task. So they're coming to the cloud and host the services. All the databases running on the on-premises only. They deploy this only applications. All the applications hosted on. The combination now, when they try to access this application, it hits your on-premises DB and gives output to the end user. So the combination of on-premises and the cloud is hybrid cloud. This is the private, this is the public. This is how the real time works. Even though if you go to any banking and insurance sector, they do not migrate their on-premises databases to the cloud. The only applications running are over the cloud. That is how they can secure their data without moving their data from on-premises to the cloud. Clear? So this is the cloud types: private cloud, public cloud, and hybrid. So we do completely work on this public cloud. Completely public cloud. So if you want to go with this private cloud, again you have to utilize VMware or Hyper-V or Oracle VirtualBox on your on-premises. So they have some dedicated team to manage it. Our part is to completely manage the cloud environment. Clear? Any doubts so far? No. Coming to the deployment methods. Or deployment types. What are the deployment types we have seen in the document? What are the deployment types? We have ASM, that is called a classic. We have ARM. Azure Resource Manager. ASM is nothing but Azure Service Manager. So we do call it as IBC. That is the alias. This service is no more available. That has been deprecated on 2017 January. 2017 January. So till 2017 January, you have to depend on resource manager. I do not say customers is not used. Still, the customers, couple of customers using this service manager only. They do not upgraded. They have not upgraded from ASM to ARM. They are slowly migrating the services from ASM to ARM. So the portal is www. Manage.windows. That is the portal. So we have www.azure.com. So even though if you use this www.manage.windowsazure.com, it will be redirected to portal.azure.com only. Why? Because we do not have this portal. That portal has been deprecated. So now you may ask that. So if the portal is deprecated, how the customers is managing these services? So for that, they will use PowerShell. Portal access lo లేదు అంతే. They can manage the services using the PowerShell. So that we will see in the next coming classes. While we jump into the automation, we will see how to manage the services. Clear? So the differences, why do they migrated from ASM to the ARM? What is the differences you could see? So here all the services are individual. Individual resources. These resources are act as individual resources. Like the resources are, మీకు ఎప్పుడంటే అర్థం కాకుంటే అడగండి. Resources is nothing but a VM is a resource, DB is a resource, network is the resource, service resource, we can call anything. Okay, the services or resources are individual. It's not related to anything. The each and every service resource act as a individual. Here it is a group of resources. How do you group? Using resource group. So mean to say, without resource group, it cannot create any resource. The resources, the grouping of the resources will be managed by resource group. So why do we need to group it? Enduku? Think in layman term, we could get it very easy.
Which we required that.
So why do I need to group?
We need a group so that it has a lot of text.
So easily access, in the sense, okay, try to get more easily access ante ela
Different technology.
okay, ippude oka live scenario. So the couple of people,
because I can use it many of the other resources. For the same resource group, I can use it many other.
yeah, even though if it is an individual resource also you can use the like that, right? So why do
But
they
need
do?
to make it as an individual, and we need to work on as individual wise.
No, actually,
When it comes to
no, actually, the reason behind it, ఇప్పుడు మీకు live example తీసుకోండి. So you are the group of people here, there are a couple of group of people from online. సో ఇప్పుడు నా వాయిస్ ఫస్ట్ ఎవరు వింటున్నారు? మీరు మీకే యాక్టివేట్ గా ఉంటారు, రైట్? సో లైక్ వైజ్ when I try to access my service as an individual service, there must be the latency. There must be the latency. Let's assume that today you have created one virtual machine, later 2 months or 3 months you have created another virtual machine. So as part of the data center architecture, we are not sure where it has been deployed. So your first virtual machine deployed in the first cluster, your another virtual machine deployed in the somewhere in 1,000 cluster. You want to make sure the communication between while accessing from this virtual machine to this virtual machine. Obviously there is a latency. Why? Because there is no correlation. So to avoid the latency, we do group together. You mean to say to grouping together is nothing but ఈ grouping చేయడం వల్ల ఏంటి, these resources are all mine to combine together to get access very easily. So that is the purpose we do use resource group. Then you might ask that, so in the ASM we do not have resource group, how do they manage? So they do have affinity groups. In ASM we do have affinity group. The affinity group is nothing but grouping together all your services to avoid the latency. That is the use of affinity group. Very simple. Here we don't need affinity group. Why? We already have the resource group to group your all the resources. Got it? Okay? Do have? Don't have affinity groups. Do have? Here we have cloud services. The cloud services are web role, worker role, and role. The cloud services are capable to provide the load balance for your virtual machine. Load balance ఎప్పుడు వస్తుంది? When you have multiple virtual machines associated with that particular load balancing concept, automatically the load will be distributed to the particular service. Our service ఏది? This is the cloud service. If you don't have cloud service, you cannot load balance your applications. And here the cloud services are deprecated. We don't have these cloud services in ASM. We could not see. We have app services. The app services are web app, mobile app, function app, and logical app. So these cloud services are migrated into the app service. That app services are web apps, mobile app, function app, and logical app. So what do you mean by web app? Web app అంటే మీ website. Very simple. Mobile app? మీ mobile application, which do you use your mobile applications? Function app. Function app is nothing but to trigger a particular task, we do use the function apps. మీకు ఒక ఏపీఐ ఉంది, ఒక ఏపీఐని ట్రిగ్గర్ చేయాలి డైలీ బేసిస్, we do use function app. Okay, logical app. Logical app is nothing but to manage all the applications, we do use the logical app. Okay, so దీన్ని ఏమంటే బిస్టాక్ సర్వర్ అని ఎవరన్నా విన్నారో? Microsoft product. That is replaced by this logical app. So in this course we do see this. To rest of all this, you must be a developer. Whether you must know about C# or .NET Core. So we completely deal with web applications, how to host the web applications, how to deploy the web apps, and how to manage them. And we will see in this course. Okay. So ఇది కూడా very easy function app. So to trigger the task, particular task, based on that your functionality, we can write the code. Okay. So coming to these roles, worker role, web role, and VM role. What do you mean of it? What do you mean by web role? Web role అంటే ఏంటి? To manage website. Okay. Who do you manage the website? In terms of software. బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ లో ఏం రన్ అవుతుంది. సో హూ విల్ మేనేజ్ డేటాబేస్? ఏం చేస్తుంది? Internet Information Services or Apache Web Servers or Nginx. These are all the web servers. So without this web server, web server is the platform to host your application. Okay, this application, we platform you cannot host your application, you cannot deploy your application. So these are all the web servers. The who will be managed by the web server is called a web role. What is the worker role? Worker role ante enti? Worker roles are API. What do you mean by API? Sorry?
Application programming
Interface. So what it does exactly?
it communicates from
Okay, it's a bridge program between the source and the destination. So who is the source and who is the destination here?
Server is source.
Sorry?
server is the source and user is the
Destination. Exactly. The request which is from the user that takes and hit into your web server and take and give it to the end user. That task can be done by APIs. Okay. What VM role? What is the VM role? The combination of worker role and API role. I mean worker role and web role is a VM role. So these roles are deprecated. We completely migrated to app services. These app services will be again have the ఇప్పుడు మనం API అంటున్నాం. How does the API? So API trigger అవ్వాలంటే ఏం కావాలి మనకు? ఫంక్షన్ యాప్. So web app and API both are the same. Okay, which contains the URLs.
app service, web app service కానీ cloud service కానీ internal గా అయితే back end users ఉంటారు.
డిఫాల్ట్ ఈ వెబ్ యాప్ రన్ అవ్వాలన్నా ఇక్కడ కూడా రన్ అవ్వాలన్నా ఏమి ఉండాలి? డిఫాల్ట్ గా వెబ్ రోల్ IIS ఉండాలి. ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ లైనెక్స్ యూ మస్ట్ హ్యావ్ ఎయిదర్ అపాచీ ఆర్ Nginx.
What is the difference between app service?
ఇక్కడ సర్వీసెస్ ఇండివిజువల్ చేశారు అంతే. There is no much difference. Okay, here we do have XML as a configuration program. Here we do have JSON as a configuration manager. If you want to change any configuration, if you would like to write any code in the backend, either you have used XML in a classic portal. Here we are using JSON scripting. So we do see in the next coming classes how to write. JSON is nothing but a Java script object notation which is developed by the Apache again. Okay, so here we have the tags. Here we don't have tags. What do you mean by tag basically? Tag ante enti? Unique. How do you define the tag? ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఒక పర్టికులర్ ప్రోడక్ట్ కొంటున్నారు. Each and every product has some tag. Yeah, what tag does? It describes about the particular product. Like here, the tags will describe about the particular service, what type of service it is, what can we use. It will be describe everything about the particular tag. So అవి ఎందుకు యూజ్ అవుతాయి అనేది in the real time you could see in the next coming classes. Okay, here we have the main important thing is RBAC. Here we don't have RBAC. So what do you mean by RBAC? Role based access control. Based on your role, you will get access to the particular services. Okay, let's assume that you have 1000 servers, yours belongs to HR team. You will get only access to the HR services. That's it. Based on you are into the sales team, you will get only access to the sales service. So you can restrict to the particular user based on the role-based access controls for the security purpose. So Microsoft by defaultly allowed to use default 35 role-based controls, around 35 roles. So again, role-based access controls divided into the two types, predefined and custom. You can write your own custom policies. Let's assume that I have my service. I would like to create one particular user to create a service ticket. That's it. I do not allow him to use any VM. I do not allow you to access any daily. I would like to give only access to use to create the service ticket to the Microsoft. That's it. So these kind of roles you can associate for the better security reasons. Okay. So we will talk about all this in Active Directory. ఇవన్నీ ఇక్కడ వస్తాయి రోల్ బేస్డ్ యాక్సెస్ కంట్రోల్స్ యాక్టివ్ డైరెక్టరీ. So these are all the major differences between ASM and ARM. Clear so far? Now. So now, being as a customer, I have decided to use the cloud service. Now I am particularly talking about Azure. Now I would like to use Azure. Then how do I use to Azure? ఇప్పుడు నేను Azure ఎలా యూజ్ చేయాలి? So compare with your own scenario. Now you got a new mobile and you would like to take Airtel SIM card. What do you do? డైరెక్ట్ ఎట్లా రీఛార్జ్ చేస్తారు? ఫస్ట్ ఏం చేస్తారు? You have mobile, okay. So you will get the subscription. Airtel subscription తీసుకుంటారు. Getting it or not? So Airtel subscription లో మీరు ఏం ప్లాన్ కి వెళ్తారు? Whether you would like to go for postpaid or prepaid or right? Okay, that's completely based on your requirement. Here also you need to get the subscription if you want to use any cloud services. Again, on the subscription, we have prepaid subscription, you have postpaid subscription or subscription types. Here also you might have bulk subscription types. You have n number of subscription types. Those subscriptions are first one is pay-as-you-go subscription. So what does it mean? The pay-as-you-go subscription is nothing but pay based on utilizers. It's only applicable for production. I'll tell you rest of all the subscription, then you can easily compare with the pay-as-you-go. Why it is important? Why Microsoft only allowed to use this pay-as-you-go for production environment? Okay. Then free trial, which allow you to use for 28 days as a free with the 13,000 rupees limitation. Okay. BitSpark customer, BitSpark subscription. These subscriptions are encouragement of $250 for the startup companies. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఒక స్టార్ట్అప్ చేశారనుకోండి. So let's assume that you have a startup company. The startup company కి ఏమేం కావాలి? Infrastructure కావాలి. They have to build their own server. See, the cloud is more adaptable for startup companies. Else, ఇప్పుడు క్లౌడ్ కి ఎందుకు అంత డిమాండ్ అంటే, లెట్స్ అజ్యూమ్ దట్ ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ ఎవ్రీ కస్టమర్ ట్రై టు ఎక్స్పాండ్ దేర్ బిజినెస్, రైట్? So every year they would like to expand their business, and they do get the more business by implementing the services and creating the more, what I can say, products for expanding their businesses. అలాంటప్పుడు ఏం కావాలి వాళ్ళకి? టు క్రియేట్ మోర్ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్. సో అలాంటప్పుడు వాళ్ళు మళ్ళీ ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ దే డు నాట్ బై ద న్యూ హార్డ్వేర్, దే డోంట్ వాంట్ ఇన్వెస్ట్ ఆన్ ఇట్. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ ఆల్ ద న్యూ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్, all the startups will look into the cloud. Whether it doesn't matter, you would like to go for AWS or Azure, we'll talk about later. Nowadays, why everyone is moving ahead with Azure rather than going for any other cloud? You will gain this, uh, you will gain this kind of you will get answers this by getting the more experience into the one cloud. మీకు ఈ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ కి ఇప్పుడే మీకు ఆన్సర్స్ దొరకవు. So if you go to anyone, if I ask that why do I need to use AWS, why do I need to use Azure only rather than rest of the other clouds?
Here somewhere, based on cost, some of them told me, sir, costly, Azure is very less cost. They are
అలా ఏం లేదు.
providing. That's why a lot of members will go into.
I'll tell you. ఏది కాస్ట్ ఇవ్వండి వీటిలో? ఏది కాస్ట్? జీరో. వై? లైనక్స్ ఇస్ ద ఓపెన్ సోర్స్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్. దెన్ ఎక్కడికి వెళ్తావు ఇప్పుడు? ఎదర్ యూ డూ యూజ్ అజూర్ ఆర్ AWS. Okay. Now I'll tell you very simple. In the previous example, when we discuss about the hybrid, my on-prem, I have SQL Server. ఇప్పుడు my on-premises, I have SQL Server. My DB is SQL Server. Always. You will get some benefit. Why? Because the backup of Amazon here, they do not have any own service. They need to rent all the service and provide it to you as a customer. Getting it? So nowadays, that could be the reason. Nowadays, Microsoft also recommending to learn at least level 200, in the sense, 50% at least, the basics of Linux. Microsoft, after become Satya Nadella as CEO, is recommending to use open source operating system. See, nowadays everyone using the open source. So these days you might aware of this. Java, .NET, C#, Python, which is the most demandable. Python, why?
Easy to code. Reduction of code.
The libraries are updated on a daily basis, which is a very open source. ఇవన్నీ కాదు, ఇవన్నీ paid. So the Python is a open source. ఇంకా ఉన్నాయి, other languages ఉన్నాయి, but they're not updated as on a daily basis, regularly. Daily basis, I mean to say regularly. That too, it is a open source. So there are a lot of scenarios. మీరు ఒక ఆర్కిటెక్ట్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి ఏది వాడాలంటే వాడు కూడా ప్రాపర్గా చెప్పలేడు. బట్ యూ నీడ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ ద కస్టమర్ బిజినెస్. బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద కస్టమర్ బిజినెస్ దే డు. ఓకే, సో కమింగ్ టు ద కాస్ట్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్, ఆల్మోస్ట్ సేమ్. ఏం పెద్ద. ఇఫ్ యూ గో టు ద గూగుల్ ఈజ్ వెరీ లెస్ కాస్ట్. అయితే గూగుల్ చాలా తక్కువ. సి, ఏ క్లౌడ్ టెక్నాలజీ అయినా డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ద డేటా. కాస్ట్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ లో చూస్తే కాస్ట్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ కంప్లీట్లీ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ద data. How much data you are accessing, how much data you are inputting and taking the output, to ingress and egress. So in terms of that, GCP is very less cost compared with the two giants, Azure or AWS. Okay, so since I will tell you, okay, let's complete this, then we'll talk about it. So we have BizSpark, then we have mm, DevTest Labs. The name itself tell you what is DevTest Labs. Development environment and test environment. So everyone knows that, right? So we must have multiple environments in real time. Dev, test, production, pre-production. అందరికి ఐడియా ఉంది కదా ఎందుకు వాడతారు ఇవి అని. Okay. Okay. Development environment will be used to develop your products. అంటే అది only the development environment will be accessed by the developers who writes Java code, .NET code. Testing environment. Testing environment will be only for testers. Production to the end users. End users అంటే ఎవరు? Customers. Okay. So ఇప్పుడు ప్రొడక్షన్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ లో నువ్వు డెవలప్ చేసావు అనుకో, if something goes wrong, your business will be lost. To avoid this, each and every environment is segregated to the multiple purposes. This particularly production is strictly for end user, which we cannot touch. Okay. So ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఏ కంపెనీలో జాయిన్ అయినా కూడా మీకు ప్రొడక్షన్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ యాక్సెస్ రాదు, ఓన్లీ టెస్ట్ అండ్ డెవ్ మాత్రమే వస్తుంది. Okay. That is, so dev test labs. So dev test lab is nothing but to get a 40% benefit of utilizing the services. I mean to say, once you use this development environment and testing environment using these subscriptions, you could get 40% benefit. Mean to say, you no need to pay license cost. Just you need to pay for, you need to pay infrastructure cost. That's it. Visual Studio subscription. Visual Studio subscription is used for to develop the products. Visual Studio అనేది ఏంటి? ఒక IDE which used for the development. Okay. Then the most important one is CSP, Cloud Service Partner. Who is this Cloud Service Partner? These cloud service partners are Accenture, Wipro, TCS, blah 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 blah. There are lakhs of companies across the world. So why do they become as a CSP? Well, why do we call it as a CSP?
They take the service from
They do buy the subscriptions from Microsoft and sell it to their customers. Getting it or not? Being like a mediator. So, ఎందుకు ఇవి? I mean to say, the CSPs are more powerful. So, let's take an example. I am a McDonald's customer. So, I do trust only TCS. I don't know who is Microsoft. So, then what TCS does? TCS will take the subscriptions, buy the bulk subscriptions from the Microsoft, sell it to their customers individually. So, what is the benefit out of it? They do get 15% benefit rather than compare with the pay as you go. అర్థమవుతుందా? పే యాజ్ యూ గో తో కంపేర్ చేస్తే 15% బెనిఫిట్ టీసీఎస్కి వస్తుంది. ఓకే. అపార్ట్ దట్, if you make resources minimum, if you hire the cloud service resources, వాళ్ళ మీద బిల్లింగ్ వస్తుంది. సో దిస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ద బెనిఫిట్స్ ఫర్ ద CSP. మీరు ఏ కంపెనీలోకి వెళ్ళినా మోస్ట్లీ CSPసే ఉంటాయి. మోస్ట్లీ CSPs. మీరు వెరీ స్టార్ట్అప్స్ కంపెనీస్కి వెళ్తే పే యాజ్ యు గో. Pay as you go, now you understand that pay as you go only for strictly for production environment. For the development and testing, we could use any other subscription type. Getting it or not? So maybe you no need to worry all about this. to manage, if you go to any company, to manage all the subscription, there will be other separate guy, he will take care of it. So, being as a cloud engineer, you must aware of this, what type of services we do have. Getting the term right? Clear? So, these are all the different types of the services. If you would like to explore more services, to legal. Here you will see the details of the subscription. These are all the types of the subscriptions, bulk subscriptions. So let me talk about EA. EA is a very important one. EA is nothing but enterprise agreement. So ఇవన్నీ ఎలా పనిచేస్తాయి? Based on your usage you need to pay. But coming to the EA, it's a upfront commitment. The upfront commitment is nothing but every company have some budget for this year for the software. మీరు ఏదో మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ కంపెనీ కోకోకోలా వెళ్ళారు లేకుంటే మెక్డోనల్డ్స్కి వెళ్ళారు. సో టు మేనేజ్ ద సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఐ హ్యావ్ దిస్ మచ్ బడ్జెట్ ఫర్ దిస్ ఇయర్. ఓకే, ఆ బడ్జెట్లో క్లౌడ్కి ఎంత పెట్టాలి? ఓకే, సో దేర్ బడ్జెట్ విల్ బి అలొకేటెడ్ టు ద క్లౌడ్ అప్ఫ్రంట్లీ. మీన్ టు సే యూ కెన్ డైరెక్ట్లీ పే టు ద మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ అప్ఫ్రంట్లీ. అంటే నా ఇయర్లో నేను ఇంత ఐఎమ్ అజ్యూమింగ్ దట్ ఐ కెన్ యూటిలైజ్ $1,00,000 ఫర్ ద క్లౌడ్. యూ ఆర్ అప్ఫ్రంట్లీ పేయింగ్ టు ద మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్. సో ఇక రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్స్ లో మీరు ఏం చేస్తున్నారు? యూజ్ చేసుకొని పే చేస్తున్నారు బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద ఇన్వాయిస్ విచ్ ఇస్ జనరేటెడ్ బై ద మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్. గెటింగ్ ఇట్ ఆన్. సో ద ఎంటర్ప్రైజ్ ఈస్ almost differ to the, I mean what I can say, it's completely different than all the other subscriptions. Okay, so you are paying upfrontly to the Microsoft to utilize the cloud services. So what is the benefits you are getting? Let's assume that you are using pay as you go. So you have utilized your services for 1 month. After 1 month, Microsoft will send you an invoice. ఇప్పుడు మనకు మంత్లీ బిల్ ఎలా వస్తుంది? యాక్ట్ నుంచి, ఎయిర్టెల్ నుంచి సేమ్. Microsoft will send you an invoice. You have used so and so services. This is the cost for just pay it. అలా చేసిన తర్వాత you don't pay it. ఏమవుతుంది మామూలు పే చేయకపోతే? Service will be stopped. Here also all the services will be stopped. Very simple. So whereas coming to the EA agreement, you have paid $1,00,000. $1,00,000. You have utilized all this $1,00,000 in the span of 3 months only. The rest of the 9 months you can still utilize the services without any interruption. Still Microsoft will send you all the invoices you can pay after a year. That is the advantage of EA. Okay, so this is the enterprise agreement subscription. ఇది చాలా రేర్ గా వాడతారు because it's expensive. పోస్ట్ పెయిడ్, ఇవన్నీ పోస్ట్ పెయిడ్ వాడిన తర్వాతే కదా పే చేస్తాం. అంటే why Microsoft is giving that feasibility to you? You have already upfrontly paid to the Microsoft. అందుకోసం వాళ్ళు మీకు కొన్ని బెనిఫిట్స్ ఇస్తున్నారు. ఎందుకంటే యూ డోంట్ ప్రిడిక్ట్ యువర్ క్లౌడ్ యూటిలైజేషన్, అందుకోసం వాళ్ళు ఇస్తున్నారు అలా. సో దిస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ద బల్క్ ఉంటాయి, ఎన్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ సర్వీసెస్. ఓకే, so coming to the support types. So we have, while you are using the cloud services, you have some issues and you stuck somewhere. Whom do you contact for the help? Whom do you contact for the support? You will raise a ticket with the Microsoft. Even though if you are CSP, still you need to contact to the Microsoft for the support. The support types are developer, standard, professional direct and premium. These are all the support types. For the developer, you need to pay $30 per month. You could get only email support in a business hours. Just email support in a business hour. Let's assume that you are from UK. In a UK business hours, you will get a support. That's it. Okay. $100. You will get 24/7 email support with the limited tickets. Professional direct, $1,000 with unlimited tickets, 24/7 support via over call and email. $1,500 per month per month with the TAM, Technical Account Manager. You ticket could raise చేయాల్సిన పని లేదు. That manager will be 24/7 available for you. Just you can text and ping it. That's it. He will take care about your issue. This TAM will sit on a Microsoft. Clear?
Yeah.
So these are all the support types. So the support types are 4: developer, standard, free. Okay. So coming to, again I am coming back, IaaS, PaaS and SaaS. Now అది market strategy as of now. Now this is going, this is reducing slowly. అంటే ఈ పర్సిషన్ తగ్గిపోతుంది ఇప్పుడు. అంటే ఇప్పుడు IaaS, ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ యాజ్ ఎ సర్వీస్ నేను వాడాలనుకుంటే అందరూ AWSకి వెళ్ళేవారు. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ ఇఫ్ యు సీ ద ఎస్టర్డే ద మార్కెట్ షేర్ ఈజ్ మోర్. AWS market share is more. So now that is drastically reducing. ఎందుకు? AWS, IaaS meant for AWS, PaaS meant for Azure.
Yes, they provide service infrastructure only, they don't manage it. AWS.
ఎందుకు manage చేయాలి?
IaaS means just infrastructure provider.
Okay.
Infrastructure as a service. They don't manage the service.
భయం లేదు.
Only platform as a service only, it manages the services.
That's fine. Even AWS and Azure and GCP both have these 3 services. ఇప్పుడు పర్టికులర్గా నేనేమంటున్నాను, AWS వాడే IaaS పర్టికులర్గా విర్చువల్ మిషన్స్ వాడే వాళ్ళందరూ AWSలో పోతారు. ప్లాట్ఫామ్ యాజ్ సర్వీస్ వాడాలనుకున్న వాళ్ళందరూ అజూర్కి వెళ్తారు. ఎందుకు? వై? ఫర్ దట్, what is the difference between Windows and Linux? Linux or Unix. ఏంటి డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటి?
Windows is, you need to buy it.
You need to buy the license. In the sense it's a enterprise operating system. It's a enterprise operating system. మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా చూసారా, కొత్తగా ల్యాప్టాప్ కొన్నప్పుడు మీరు నాకు ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ వద్దంటే 3000 తగ్గిస్తాడు. ఎందుకు? The key, the license, the operating system which you are utilizing, that is not that is the enterprise operating system which you need to buy. Linux అంటే free. So The perception is that when you use Azure, who developed the Azure? By the Microsoft. Who developed the Windows? Obviously. So earlier, there is a CEO called Bob Womer for Microsoft. That guy used అంటే అతను తప్పని కాదు కానీ so that the meant like this. So when you use Azure, you need to pay to the Microsoft licenses for the Windows. So after becomes Satyanadella CEO, he is promoting as a open source operating systems as well to host your services in Azure as well, like Linux and Linux SUSE, not SUSE, CentOS, Debian, all these operating systems. That could be the reason slowly Microsoft market also increasing with AWS. Okay, so there is a more reason behind it. సో ఇప్పుడు ఆ పర్సెప్షన్ లేదు. ఇప్పుడు అయాస్ అన్నా కూడా అజూర్ కూడా ఉంది. స్లో మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ విల్ ప్రమోటింగ్ దేర్ కస్టమర్స్ యూజ్ లైనిక్స్ ఇన్ అజూర్ as a open source. There you need to just pay for operating sorry, no need to pay for operating system where you could get 40% discount less. Just pay for network and hardware. That's it. So this is the backend, what I can say, backend process for this. So the reason behind it, why IaaS is meant for AWS and PaaS is meant for Azure. The platform as a service. Why? Because Azure has their, Microsoft has their own development IDEs like development technologies like .NET, C Sharp, .NET Core 2.2, Visual Studio. But AWS do not have any solutions like that. So that could be the reason overall the developing all these applications just directly go for Azure as a platform as a service. ఇలా థింక్ చేసేవారు ఇప్పటి వరకు. సో ఇప్పుడు మీకు అర్థమైంది విచ్ సినారియో యు డు గో ఫర్ AWS, విచ్ సినారియో యు డు గో ఫర్ Azure. సో నౌ ద స్లోలీ థింగ్స్ ఈస్ చేంజింగ్. దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ద కేస్. నౌ I have my business, I have huge data, some petabytes of thousands of the petabytes of the data which I do use for analytics purpose, like big data, data scientists using Power BI or Tableau. So మీరు అప్పుడు ఏం వాడతారు? Now people is going for GCP, Google. Why? Because the storage, the data which you do store is very less compared with these two. For the visualization purpose, my GCP is providing Prometheus and Grafana freely. అదే ఇప్పుడు మీరు అజూర్కి వచ్చారనుకోండి, you have to pay for the Power BI. These are all the scenarios. So that will be taken care by your senior architects. Which service should be used, which cloud should be capable to manage our services. Okay, this is all just for your idea. Clear so far? Okay, so let me show you the portal.azure.com. So before logging to, you must have the subscription. How do you get the subscription? ఇప్పుడు మీరు డైరెక్ట్ గా మీ జీమెయిల్ తో లాగిన్ అవ్వండి. It will allow you. Once try to deploy any service, then it will ask you to enable the subscription. There you have to provide your credit card. It won't take more than 2 rupees. So with the 28 days వస్తుంది. The credit card which is already used once not be applicable again. The MAC address అంటే మీ ల్యాప్టాప్ మ్యాక్ అడ్రస్ కూడా క్యాప్చర్ అవుతుంది. 1 ల్యాప్టాప్ 1 సబ్స్క్రిప్షన్, దట్స్ ఇట్. ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు మీరు నెక్స్ట్ టైం ఒకసారి ఎక్స్పైర్ అయిపోయింది మళ్ళీ చేసుకోవాలనుకుంటే కొత్త క్రెడిట్ కార్డు ఉండాలి, కొత్త ల్యాప్టాప్ ఉండాలి. కొత్త ల్యాప్టాప్ అంటే మీరు ఏది ఇంటర్నెట్ సెంటర్కి వెళ్ళి చేసుకోవచ్చు, పర్లేదు. ఓకే, సో this is the Azure portal. ఇక్కడ నుండి దీని మీదే మన వర్క్ అంతా. So to learn Azure, you no need to have any tools or nothing. Just internet is enough. So this is the portal. This is the Azure portal. Okay. After one class, after 1 or 2 classes, completely working on this portal only. Okay. So these are all the services. If you look at here, these are all the services. Microsoft Azure supports more than 140 services in terms of artificial intelligence, machine learning, data scientist, DevOps, virtual machines, network, database, applications, whatever it may. బట్ ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇక్కడ ఐయాస్ ప్యాసన్ శాస్ లాగా డిఫరెంట్ చేసాం కదా, ఇక్కడ ఎక్కడ అవన్నీ కనపడవు. బేస్డ్ ఆన్ సర్వీస్ యూ నీడ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ వాట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ సర్వీస్ ఇట్ ఈస్. ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ పోర్టల్ ఉంది. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ ఫైన్. ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఇన్ డీటెయిల్ ఆల్ దిస్ పోర్టల్ వన్ బై వన్. వాట్ ఆర్ ద సర్వీస్, వాట్ ఆర్ ద ఫీచర్స్ అన్న. నౌ I am going to create a, just see, I am going to click the virtual machine. Just click the add. It will ask you whether you want Windows or Linux. Just select it and create the VM. It will create the virtual machine. How it is possible? See, ఇక్కడ infrastructure లేదు, మీకు connectivity లేదు, ఏం లేదు. Still it is creating the virtual machine to make sure utilize of it. How it is done? What is the backend process? Backend లో ఏం జరుగుతుంది? In the backend, this is the architecture of R, resource manager. So Ruby as a developer or Azure engineer, or whoever it may be. Okay, he'll create the send the request from the portal. This is portal. He'll request to the API. Each and every service associated to one dedicated API. ఒక virtual machine create చేయాలనుకోండి, that goes to virtual machine API. అలాగే each and every service associated with the particular API. Okay, the API go and hit with the orchestrator. The orchestrator go and hit with fabric controller. Okay, I'll explain in detail one by one. The fabric controller might associated with the what are all this? This is DC. Assume it is the South India. These are all the clusters. Many clusters మనకి first class చూడండి. Clusters. Cluster divided into racks.
Racks divided into
Host. The same. Okay. All the ILB, internal load balancers. Each and every cluster communicate with the other cluster using the internal load balancer. ఇది backend architecture. Once the developer hit the portal, from the portal you try to create any service that goes to the API. It will call the particular API. The API will go to the orchestrator. Orchestrator is nothing but which execute your all the services. The orchestrator will communicate with the fabric controller. The fabric controller is nothing but which holds all the images of your operating systems, which will manage and maintain your deployment of any service. అంటే ఈ పర్టికులర్ గా నువ్వు ట్రై టు క్రియేటింగ్ ద విర్చువల్ మెషిన్, ఇట్ విల్ గో అండ్ డిప్లాయ్ హియర్. Who will check? The fabric controller will go and check in each and every cluster where it is a free server is available to host your request. Getting it or not? The fabric controller will go on each and every cluster in the each and every rack where the space is available to host your request. That is the fabric controller. The request comes to the fabric controller. Fabric controller will deploy your service into the particular cluster. So this is the back-end architecture of Azure Resource Manager. అదే ASM కంటే డిఫరెంట్ టెక్నాలజీ ఉంది, అది ఇప్పుడు మీకు అవసరం లేదు. నో వన్ ఈస్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్. ఓకే, అదే ఇక్కడ ఫ్యాబ్రిక్ కంట్రోల్, ఇక్కడ మనం ఏమంటున్నాం, API ఆర్కెస్ట్రేషన్ అంటున్నామా, దేర్ ఈస్ ఎ కాల్డ్ RDFE, Red Dog Frontend. In the classic portal, they do use Red Dog Frontend to manage all this backend architecture. Okay, clear so far? So this is how they do manage the, మీరు ఎక్కడో ఉంటారు, పోర్టల్ ఎక్కడో ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది, మీ సర్వర్ ఎక్కడో డిప్లాయ్ అవుతుంది. హౌ ఇట్ కెన్ బి పాసిబుల్? దిస్ ఈస్ ద బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ ప్రాసెస్ కెన్ బి. క్లియర్? Okay, so in the next coming class we do start networking basics. Okay, so I do request all of those just come up with the basic networking concepts. మనం అన్ని ఇక్కడ చెప్పలేము, మరి నెట్వర్కింగ్ స్టార్ట్ చేయాలంటే 1 week 10 days పడుతుంది. I don't want to waste the time. So again we do meet on Monday. ఈ 2 days మీరు ఏం చేస్తారంటే just go through with the basics. మీరు యూట్యూబ్ చూడండి, గూగుల్ చేయండి, ఐ డోంట్ మైండ్, బట్ యు మస్ట్ హ్యావ్ ద బేసిక్ నాలెడ్జ్ అబౌట్ ద నెట్వర్కింగ్. వాట్ ఈస్ ద IP అడ్రసెస్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ ద IPs, అండ్ ఇది మ్యాండేటరీ. ఎందుకంటే మీరు ఆన్ ప్రెమిసెస్ లో ఎక్కడ ఉన్నారు, మీ సర్వీసెస్ ఎక్కడో క్లౌడ్ లో రన్ అవుతున్నాయి. హౌ డు మేక్ షూర్ ద కమ్యూనికేషన్ బిట్వీన్ ద నెట్వర్క్, ద కనెక్టివిటీ, దట్ ఈస్ ద వెరీ 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 ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో అది లేకుండా ఏ ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఉండదు. ఓకే, సో ఇట్ ఈస్ అ వెరీ 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 ఇంపార్టెంట్ కాంపోనెంట్. ఇక్కడికి నుంచి మనం నెట్వర్కింగ్ కంప్లీట్ అవ్వడానికి 10 days పడుతుంది. అంటే క్లౌడ్ అజూర్ నెట్వర్కింగ్ ఐఎమ్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్. సో ఇఫ్ యూ కమ్ అప్ విత్ ద బేసిక్స్, జస్ట్ నెట్వర్క్ బేసిక్ చూసుకోండి, రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద థింగ్స్ ఐ విల్ టేక్ కేర్. మరి ఇప్పుడు నేను IP అడ్రస్ అంటే ఏంటి అని చెప్పడం అక్కడ నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేస్తే చాలా టైం పడుతుంది. ఓకే, క్లియర్? సీ యూ ఆన్ Monday. But I am urging everyone to come up with the basic networking concept. Thank you guys.
So,